Live.
Namaskar, I am Assistant Professor Deepak Gawade from S.S.T College of Arts and Commerce. Welcomes all the academicians and our keynote speaker and guest of eminence in this exclusive national webinar on how to excel in higher education in India in the light of National Education Policy 2020, organized by S.S.T College of Arts and Commerce, Ulhasnagar, in association with Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center of MHRD. I request our founder principal, Dr. Purswani sir, to throw the light on purpose of organizing today's webinar. Over to you, sir.
Good evening to all the participants, academicians, and our today's webinar's keynote speaker and guest of eminence. First of all, what I feel, we are fortunate enough that all of us, we are healthy and safe, and during this lockdown period, in association with GAD-TLC, we are conducted some webinars so that we are keeping all our teachers, all our teaching fraternity updated. As we all are aware that recently new education policy was announced by Government of India, and considering that NEP, today's intention of organizing this particular webinar was that during this particular pandemic time, this new education policy has been announced by the government, and how this NEP 2020, is going, considering in the light of this NEP, how we as an higher education institutions, we are going to excel, how we can achieve the position of excellence under this new NEP 2020. So Bakshi sir, well versed, well experienced person, he is with us. Of course, we are not going to touch the entire NEP due to the time constraints, but definitely the purpose that how we can excel, how as an higher education institution can excel in the light of new NEP 2020, we are going to learn here today. And along with Bakshi sir, we have one more guest of eminence, Vimal madam. She is also not new to us. Every time in every webinar, we always take the advantage of her knowledge. She is ready to share with all the participants. So today, without wasting much time, let us hear the expert who are with us, who are joined with us, that how we can achieve the target of excellence in higher education. Over you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our guest of eminence, Dr. Vimal Rarh madam, to throw light on this webinar and give information to our audiences about GAD-TLC. Over to you, madam.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak. Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Professor A.K. Bakshi, Vice Chancellor, PDM University, and Chairman of our Center, GAD-TLC, and two others. Respected Dr. Purswani, Principal, S.S.T College of Arts and Commerce, all the organizing committee working at the back end from S.S.T College of Arts and Commerce and my team, and above all my dear colleagues from different parts of our country. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone on this one-day webinar on the very impacting on us as stakeholders, the NEP 2020, and the title we have chosen is How to Excel in Higher Education in India in the Light of NEP 2020. And I'm thankful to Professor Bakshi to have agreed to deliver the keynote speaker, the address where he will be highlighting on that how the NEP 2020 can be utilized in a very, very efficient manner, and all the problems that we are having, they can be addressed. And I'll be taking it further that how technology will be having very, very important impact in taking this further. But before we do all that, I'm going to brief some of my new colleagues here who have joined. I'm sure many of you are already aware of our team and our center. But yes, I know there are some new additions. And so let me tell you about our Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center. And I'll request Deepak to please allow my share screen. I'll use my presentation to do that. And I also welcome you on behalf of my principal, Dr. Jaswinder Singh, is also the director of the center, and my entire advisory committee, and SGTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi. So let me take you, Deepak, you'll have to please allow, make me co-host.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yeah.
It is done.
Because it's not the only event, and why I'm telling you it will be benefiting each one of you, because you can also conduct these type of webinars in collaboration with your institution and GAD-TLC, and personally you can benefit that. If you don't want to organize, then you can participate and benefit as important stakeholder of this education system. So much change is happening, we should be all aware about these changes, and we should try to see that how positively, and we can introspect what are the negative points, and how while implementing the NEP 2020 or other policies for that matter, we can be uh, making good wise decisions, so that the entire future of education and our country lies on these changes that we will be doing. So with these, let me share my screen. And GAD-TLC is a center of Ministry of Education. Earlier it was MHRD. And this scheme is the prestigious Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching, under which there are various teaching learning centers, faculty development centers, schools of education. And not only from here, you can benefit from any of these centers, because the programs that we do are considered in the career advancement scheme of UGC as well as AICT. We are seeking blessings not only from Bharat Ratna Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji, in whose name the scheme has been named at the national level, but we are also seeking the blessings from Guru Angad Dev ji, the second of the 10 Sikh Gurus, on whose name we have kept the name of our prestigious center at SCTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi. And we have state-of-art facility in terms of the training equipments, the hands-on training we have been doing since 2016. And we also are one of the, I will say, the leading team who has shown the direction that in terms of e-content, e-learning, implementation, how they can be quality parameter which can be integrated, and it can really do remarkable impact on the quality of higher education. The center was inaugurated in July 2016 by the then Honorable HRD Minister Smriti Jubin Irani ji. So some of the few words I will like to share.
आज मैं विशेष रूप से बधाई देती हूँ प्रोफेसर बख्शी को, विमल जी को, जिन्होंने बहुत मेहनत करके इस सेंटर को जीवित रूप में आपके सामने प्रस्तुत किया। ये टीचर की ललक उसके उत्साह का उदाहरण है कि भारत सरकार ने दिसंबर 2014 को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के हाथों पंडित मदन मोहन मालवीय नेशनल मिशन को राष्ट्र के सामने प्रस्तुत किया। लेकिन उसमें हमने एक शर्त रखी कि जो भी इस प्रोजेक्ट से जुड़े वो स्वयं एक अनोखा टीचिंग लर्निंग का प्रस्ताव लेकर आए, और उस प्रस्ताव में जो अनोखा हो अथवा वो प्रस्ताव अगर शिक्षकों के माध्यम से आए तो विशेष रूप से हमारा सहयोग ऐसे.
So this center is by the teachers and for the teachers. So it's all our center, and we have to actually understand that what additional we have to learn, because how we entered in the education system, even in our subject, so much knowledge growth has happened, so many new technologies have come, pedagogies have come, and we have to embrace them to become empowered teachers. So with that spirit, we had given the proposal to MHRD that we will be conducting faculty empowerment workshops, various open educational resources to empower them with the help of teachers being utilized, that okay, how you can create with the newer pedagogy. So all these new ideas we have been evolving, and now teachers e-kit, e-learning objects, they are all in shape, and all of you can participate to contribute into these. And initially we started with the integration of ICT skill pedagogy along with 3 subjects also, apart from the generic ICT skills and pedagogy requirements for all subject teachers. We were focusing also on chemistry, commerce, and economics. But now we are taking the teachers e-kit for all the subjects, and all activities we take it as a team. And in our advisory committee we have the visionary leader, he's the e-learning expert of the country, Professor A.K. Bakshi, who is there with us today also in this event. So apart from overall education and understanding being an excellent teacher and an administrator, I think how the technology can be integrated with higher education, we have been working experiment and came out with the models which are being appreciated at the national level by MHRD and UGC. We also have Professor Bhanumurthy, Professor Chadda, Professor Aditya Bhattacharya, Dr. R.P. Singh, and Dr. Jaswinder Singh, and myself, we are the executive heads. We started the team at the college level in 2013 when we got the prestigious EPG Pathshala project. And there we have done massive work in terms of quality content production in 4-quadrant format in the EPG Pathshala project for 6 subjects. And we were the 6 out of the 8 subjects who completed these projects in a record time. And EPG Pathshala was started for 77 subjects, and you can all benefit. Now still many subjects are doing it and taking it completion. And I'm also happy to share that this EPG Pathshala project is being revived to look up that where are the gaps left, what more has to be created. And I'm the member of the committee at UGC where we are taking it in the next stage. And we are very hopeful that with your contribution and active participation, not only our current generation, but the future generation of teachers as well as students will be equipped with the good quality e-content. And that is what the quality is now coming in the focus. It's not about just the completion or creating the content. It has to be with the quality, and that is what can make the difference. Otherwise, no one is going to adapt it and take it. And we have also prepared the 42 MOOCs out of the 89 courses we created. And this is again perhaps out of the 63 PG level MOOCs, 42 MOOCs is the contribution by our team. And this has been a massive work with the help of more than 2,000 academicians, and I am thankful to each one of them. And all this content, not only in our subject, but from so many other disciplines, various other teams have been working. And you can all benefit at the swayam.gov.in. That's the portal where you should regularly log in and see what all new courses are coming, so that you can guide your students to enroll and benefit. We've also designed the faculty induction program for Ministry of Education, and I'm thankful to Ministry of Education for giving us this opportunity. And this was again in 2017, and since then many faculty induction programs have been conducted, and now it is mandatory for every new entry teacher either to do a faculty induction program or orientation program. And even UGC has come out with a faculty induction program on the similar lines, where there is a complete curriculum about giving the teachers a holistic view and the understanding of the higher education, as well as preparing them for making effective teaching learning processes in their classroom. And as a result of work, the very best award we have got till now is the National Resource Center of Chemistry, where we have the mandate of training teachers in chemistry through online courses, which are ARPIT, Annual Refresher Program in Teaching. And since last 2 years, more than 8,000 teachers have benefited. I've also conceptualized this teachers e-kit, and this also, it has been revised in the light of NEP 2020, and more details I'll be telling you, and you can also become part of this, and you can get benefit in terms of the API, because now again, along with us and many other who started the EPG Pathshala project, with the request repeated to the UGC, now we are happy that the contribution in e-content is rated almost equivalent to the research publication. So you make one research paper, you get 10 API or 8 API, depending upon whether it is science or humanities. And if you are developing 2 modules of 4-quadrant format, then again you get 5 mod API for each. And this teacher kit is also effort in the similar direction. And now we have gone into various online activities. And I thought this is most appropriate in this webinar when we are talking about NEP. Those who wish to go into the detailed, in-depth understanding of NEP, there is a golden opportunity for all of you. You can join. Today is the last day to enroll the 1-week faculty development program on towards quality higher education through NEP 2020. And this will be in a flexible online mode with the live sessions, as you can see on the screen. And this benefit, it's not that if you are only looking for FDP for the promo, but if you want to only do for knowledge, then it's for administrator, research scholars, students, all are welcome, because national education policy, unless or until you understand it in detail and in depth, how can you think about applying it in your own field or in a wider perspective if you're holding a key position? So with that, I invite all of you to join in this program, and they're going to be galaxy of resource person. Professor Ved Prakash, former chairman UGC, has agreed to deliver this entire higher education part of NEP 2020 on all 5 days, and we'll have many other distinguished resource persons, Professor M.P. Punia, Professor Varghese, Professor Katimani, Professor Mazhar Asif, Professor Shek, and many of them are the members who have formulated this policy. So that's going to be the remarkable difference. And I'm sure we all will be learning. And we are talking to some more experts who are agreeing. Dr. Jaspal Singh Sandhu, Vice Chancellor, Guru Angad Dev University, also agreed just yesterday. So I once again welcome each one of you on this today's webinar, which is themed on how to excel in higher education in India in the light of NEP 2020. So thanks, Dr. Purswani, again for taking this another event in collaboration with your prestigious institution. So I am thankful to entire S.S.T College of Arts and Commerce, its management, especially you as principal, and not only as a principal, I think you have been the most active organizing member of the committee, I'll say. So special thanks to you and all the other organizers. So over to you, Deepak.
Thank you very much, Madam. Madam has explained the works which GAD-TLC is doing for the betterment of higher education, and our today's topic is how to excel in higher education in India in the light of NEP 2020. And it gives me immense pleasure to welcome and introduce our today's keynote speaker, Professor Dr. A.K. Bakshi, sir. Sir is founder, vice chancellor of PDM University, Bahadurgarh, Haryana, and sir is chairman of GAD-TLC. Sir is double gold medalist and PhD from Delhi University, and he is a research scholar and author of more than 170 research and education articles. He is recipient of several awards and academic honors. I would like to mention here only few, like World Education Award, Haryana Ratan Award, and many more awards are at his credit. Sir is felicitated by former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and he is working as a member on various academic bodies. This is just a brief introduction which I have mentioned here. Already, this introduction is not the exhaustive introduction of Professor Dr. A.K. Bakshi sir. He has done immense work in the field of education. From many years, he is serving the education field. We have already given his detailed introduction in our registration form. So I welcome Professor Dr. A.K. Bakshi sir and request him to start with his session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deepak, for your very kind words of introduction. Esteemed Dr. Purswani ji, Principal S.S.T College of Arts and Commerce, my colleague Dr. Vimal Rarh, Joint Director and Project Head also of Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center, and dear participants from all over the country. A good afternoon to all of you, and it's indeed a great pleasure and honor for me to deliver today's talk. And you will agree that this talk is something which everyone wants to achieve. And that is how to excel in higher education in India in the 21st century in the light of National Education Policy 2020. Before I start, let me share my screen, please. So this is the title of my talk, How to Excel in Higher Education in India in the light of NEP 2020. See, whosoever is in this profession in higher education, everyone wants to excel. But merely having a wish is not enough. You need to have a proper strategy, because time is very, very important. And you have to ensure that you are in the right direction. As a matter of fact, direction is more important than speed. And on your way to excellence, you learn from your mistakes and improve yourself. But the prudence demands that you should also learn from the experience and mistakes of others, because you may not have time to make all mistake yourself. So, there is a very famous quote from Chanakya, which says that learn from the mistakes of others. You can't afford to make all of them on your own. So that's basically the purpose of this talk. I will share with you what are the challenges in the way to excellence and how you can overcome them. The first question which will come to your mind is, what does excellence in higher education mean? You will all agree that there are three major roles of a teacher in higher education. Disseminate knowledge, that is teaching learning, then create knowledge, that is research and also guide research, and then also academic administration and management. And one is expected to excel in all the three roles. If you want to excel as a teacher or researcher, the most important thing is you should have a very sound and deep knowledge of your subject. You may be in any subject, but sound and deep knowledge, then clarity of concepts, and you should have done a lot of thinking on the subject. All these are very important and will be helpful to you in excelling as a teacher or as a researcher. And if you want to excel further as a researcher, you should also be an out-of-box thinker. You should be innovative and creative. And then, I have written here 4 C's. 4 C's means you should be creative, you should be curious, you should have commitment, and you should have courage. So this is required for being an outstanding researcher. And one more thing, for both outstanding teacher and researcher, you also need to have excellent communication and presentation skills. They can be a very big asset for you. Because please remember, no one will really take the pains to listen to your ideas unless and until your communication is effective and impressive. This is very, very important. You should also know the difference between presentation and communication. Presentation is what you say, and communication is how you say it. And please remember, and you will all agree, that effective presentation can do wonders and captivate the audience. Now, I will also like to tell you, in my opinion, what makes a good teacher. You should have full command over the subject. Your teaching should reflect the amount of thinking you have done on the subject. As a matter of fact, before going to the class, you should think of all the questions which can arise in a student's mind relating to what you are going to teach, and answer them very systematically in the class. You should have the ability to come down to the level of the weakest student and take them along. And please remember, a teacher is not only for bright students. You should also have the ability to deliver a lecture in a very systematic and logical manner. How you build your thought process, this is very important. And then effective communication skills. And then a teacher should always be willing to improve on the basis of the feedback of the students. Take regular feedback, even if it is unofficial. Because a student can make any mistake, but a student will not make a mistake in identifying a good teacher. And then, it is said, the famous quote of Feynman, once you start teaching, you also learn more. The more you teach, the better you learn. As a matter of fact, teaching is a very powerful tool to learning. This was a newspaper report, why no one ever forgets a good teacher. It is so because there are not too many of them around. And then, for research also, you should also be very clear. There is a difference between search and research. Search is looking for something, and research is look into it. So you go into the depth of that. research is normally done by experts, while search can be done by anybody. And in the context of research, please remember, always do research with an open mind. If you believe too much, you will never notice the flaws. And if you doubt too much, you will never get started. So please always have an open mind. Having said that, if you have to excel in your career, you should also know how to manage your career. Career management is very important, and it involves two things. One is, as you can see here, one is career growth and the other is career development. Career growth is when you strive for a higher position than your current position. You are assistant professor, you want to become associate. You are associate professor, you want to become principal. So you set on these goals, and therefore your approach has to be strategic. In career development, you improve your knowledge, your skills, and your talent while being in that position. Therefore, you focus more on achieving these goals, and it brings about a transformation in you. For example, you attend so many faculty development programs. They are like career development. They are not career growth programs. Yes, of course, career growth depends upon career development. And once career development takes place, career growth will automatically follow. And therefore, you should also become the CEO of your career destiny. This is very important. Even if you have all those things what I have mentioned so far, still sometimes you may not be successful if you do not have the right personality. Personality can be a big push for you. So you should have the right personality in order to achieve success. It's well known that 87% of all people fail, not because of their incapability, but because of their personality. So developing a right personality is very important for success in life. Before we move further, let's have a look at the current higher education scenario. India has one of the largest system of education in the world. We are currently having about 993 universities, 50,000 colleges, 1.4 million teachers, and 37.4 million students. So there are about 1.4 million teachers in higher education. So your competition is with them. And of course, more with those teachers who are in your discipline. Although we have a very large system of education in the world, still our ranking in world ranking scale is very poor. This is the QS ranking for the year 2021. And any institution from India which comes here in the top is IIT Bombay with 172 positions. And then some others. And the only university which comes in 500 is University of Delhi in 501 position. So you can see that the ranking of our higher education institutions in world ranking is very poor. because this is normally the criteria used in international rankings. You can see this is the criteria: academic reputation, employers, citations, industrial income, faculty-student ratio. And generally it is said why we are not able to make a mark in world rankings is because of the poor quality of our research programs. Our research programs are very poor. Most of our universities and colleges have reduced to just teaching institutions and degree awarding institutions. Research very poor. Look at this. India has, for example, the third largest scientific and technical manpower in the world. Even publications wise, we are number 3, as you can see here, after China and United States. But still, number 3 is very good. But recently there was a report in Times of India that out of the 4,000 most cited researchers in the world, only 10 are from India. 10 out of 4,000, that is 0.25%. And these are the 10 people whose name figure there. So you can very well see that we are producing many papers, then perhaps quality aspect is missing. And why we are not able to do quality research? Why do we lack in quality research? That could be the question in your mind. The reason is that, in India, there is a dearth of creative minds. There is a crisis of creativity in Indian education system. This is a big problem. For example, no Indian scientist working in India has been able to get a Nobel Prize after 1930. C.V. Raman was the person who got Nobel Prize in 1930 for the discovery of Raman effect. After that, nobody. These people got Nobel Prizes, but then they were non-resident Indians. They were not working in India. Even in economics, we have Amartya Sen. He is an Indian, but for most of the time of his career, he worked abroad. Even Abhijit Banerjee, the Nobel laureate in economics, is also an, as you can see here, he is also an American citizen. So one thing we should keep it in mind that Nobel Prize is not a lifetime achievement award. It's not. It is always for some breakthrough which opens entirely new vistas for humanity. If you want to excel in research at that level, you need perseverance and resilience. Last year's chemistry Nobel Prize winner is 97-year-old. Just imagine. Then we need enormous amounts of creativity and open-mindedness. And we lack in that. And then we also need to collaborate. We need to build more bridges rather than walls. So why is it that we are not able to produce creative minds in India? Why is it that we are not able to excel in research? Why is it that in most of the disciplines, we are the followers and not leaders? It has something to do with our education system. So let's try to see what is the fundamental flaw in our education system. Watch this video and it will explain everything.
For decades, people have been finding hundreds of flaws in the education system. No conceptual understanding, no creativity, children are stressed, and the list goes on. All these are symptoms. But what is the root cause to all this? What is the fundamental flaw in the education system? Let us play a rapid-fire game. You have 1 second to answer every question. Let's start. First question, A4? Okay, no more questions. Did you think apple first? 98% of people are most likely to think so. Because that was what we were told in our kindergarten. Imagine that this was done differently. Say we had asked you for all the words starting with A. Ant, ace, April, apt. Different answers would have popped out of everyone's head. Do you see where the problem is? Before children start going to school, every child is unique. Every child thinks different. But the education system makes every child think the same. This is the fundamental flaw in the education system. Why did this start? During the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century, the education system was designed to make children ready to work in factories. The factories did not require people to think, but to only work like robots. So, the education system stripped children of their freedom to think and destroyed their true potential. The same education system continues even today. Only the industries have changed. A study by NASA shows that 98% of children think different before they start going to school. As they go through this education system, at 25 years of age, only 2% think different, and 98% think the same. So how does the education system make every child the same? Let's go back to the apple example. Kindergarten lessons told us that A is for apple. We asked you for words that start with A. Our education system gave us the answers. We asked you a question. Answers make you the same. Questions make you different. Right from kindergarten, the education system keeps giving answers. Instead of asking children how plants make food, the science teacher gives you the definition of photosynthesis. Instead of asking them to describe the sun, the teacher tells them that the sun is a ball of fire at the center of the solar system. Through their years in school, children lose the capability to think on their own. Whether it is their choice of career or their relationship or any situation in life, they become.
So you can see that our creativity is being destroyed because of our education system. Our education system does not encourage thinking, innovation, and creativity amongst students. And that's why we are lacking in research. Education is not the learning of the facts. It is the training of the mind to think. Children must be taught how to think and not what to think. This is very important. Goal of education is training of the mind through understanding of the subject. The goal of training is performance. Please remember it. For example, a lion in a circus is trained to perform. The lion is never educated. And if you want to be creative and innovative, we must encourage curiosity, which is the seed. Albert Einstein once said, "I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious." For example, millions of people saw the fall of Apple, but only Newton asked why. Without creativity, there cannot be any progress, and we would be forever repeating the same patterns. And creativity is not, something like an injection which you give to someone. You have to create an appropriate environment for curiosity and a way to encourage people to get the best out of them. And please remember, without innovation, we cannot advance. Therefore, it is our responsibility that we encourage thinking, innovation, and creativity. Our future relies on human ingenuity. And now, if you look at the national education policy, there is a concern about research. They are going to set up National Research Foundation, which is on similar lines as we have National Science Foundation in USA. It is going to be an apex body, and this, education policy is basically concerned about fostering a strong research culture in the country and building a strong research capacity across higher education. Of course, it will fund the projects, but fostering a research culture is the main aim as per the national education policy. Look at this. Number of research persons per 1 lakh of population in India is just 15, while China has 111 and USA has 800. And then according to this policy, it will fund those projects which are globally competent but locally relevant. So that type of research should be encouraged. And according to this policy, in future, maybe in another 15, 20 years, we are going to have only 3 types of higher educational institutions. One is the research-intensive universities, where only the world-class research and high-quality teaching across all disciplines will be imparted. Then we are going to have teaching universities, where high-quality teaching across disciplines with significant contribution to research. And the third is going to be autonomous degree granting colleges, where there will be high quality teaching across disciplines at UG level. All the affiliated colleges, wherever they are, they will be slowly phased out through graded autonomy. That is how the things are going to change. But in order to all that, and in order to encourage research, in this policy, the focus is going to be in future of education from rote learning to creative thinking, problem solving skills, digital literacy, inquiry based learning, discussion based learning, all those we have. So this is very well explicitly stated in new education policy. The new education policy basically is focusing on the development of the creative potential of each individual. Every individual is unique. It has some creative potential. So this policy basically aims at encouraging that. But only sad part in this policy is there is no roadmap. How it will be done? Because at micro level, it is only the teachers who have to deliver. Teachers, if till date they have been focusing on rote learning, how suddenly they will shift to others? Our focus still continues to be on scoring very, very high marks, 95%, 98%. As a matter of fact, a student's mark sheet has become a prestige sheet for the family, but a pressure sheet for the child. Yes, that's true. So my biggest concern in this policy is about existing teachers in higher education. They are the product of traditional system. So without their professional development, without their training, they cannot shift the focus of education. And they are not going to be shunted out. They have to remain in the system for a long time. So this is a big concern. So our focus has to be on professional development of the teachers in the system and on the change of their mindset so that they can play an important role in achieving the goals of national education policy. Because, it is said, once an individual improves, once the quality of an individual increases, the quality of institution will increase and the quality of India will increase. Please don't forget that students may be just 25% of our population, but then they are 100% of our future. Our entire future depends upon them. They are our real human resources. We have to convert them into human capital through education. So, education system has to play a very important role. So, having said all that, I have told you what is required for excellence in teaching, what is required for excellence in research, why do we need to have creative minds, why we are lagging behind in research. It's because of our education system. Therefore, having said all that, now I come to some other challenges in the 21st century, which you have to keep it in mind if you want to excel. One is the growth of knowledge. Please remember, knowledge in all disciplines is growing very fast. As a matter of fact, the doubling time of growth of knowledge has shrunk considerably. There was a time when knowledge used to get doubled in 150 years. Then it became 55, and now it is doubling in 73 days. So that is how fast it is doubling. You may be in any discipline. Don't forget that what you know is a drop, and what you do not know is an ocean. And because of this growth, research is becoming very challenging because of the vast literature in each field. This is a big challenge for your growth. And when so much is happening on the knowledge front, how will we teach future generations? It's possible only by making it a part of the education system. So we need to update our syllabi. And therefore, second challenge is in need of reforms in education system. Curricula is a very important point. National education policy also says that our syllabi should be light so that there is more time for creative thinking. Core essentials should be included. Syllabi should be light, but it should be modern because knowledge is growing very, very fast. And now, NCRT is already started thinking of revising the books in view of national education policy. And I am also one of the members of this committee, which is working on this as to what the way should be in future. Then assessment system should also be changed because assessment drives learning. The way you assess your students will start learning in that way. So it is a good way to enhance the quality of education. If you put only rote learning questions, they will do rote learning. If you put analytical questions, they will analyze the topic. So we can guide them. You know, assessment process needs to be made more scientific to encourage multiple skills of the students. This is very, very important. You know, it is said that learning takes place through these 6 stages. This is called Bloom's revised taxonomy. At the bottom, you can see is remembering, then understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So the highest order thinking skill is creativity and the lowest is remembering. So while you set questions in an examination, when you assess the students, for every topic, you should have questions relating to remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. That is what is required. But then the teachers may not know how to set such questions because they are also the product of the old system. Therefore, the teachers need to be professionally trained for all that. This is a very big challenge. Another challenge is technology. All of us need to embrace technology and become tech savvy. You know, technology is an enabler which can help achieve the intention of the person who is using it. Technology doesn't have a brain of its own. Technology makes our lives easier and convenient and helps us to do things more quickly and effectively. We know that. And ICT, information and communication technology, has changed the whole higher education scenario. ICT is an umbrella term that encompasses all communication technologies that provide access to information. Internet, wireless network, satellite communications, digital TV, cell phone, all come under ICT. And ICT is impacting all areas of higher education. You can see here, it is impacting teaching and learning through e-learning and MOOCs. New pedagogies are coming. It is helping in the revision of syllabi through email, discussion forum, video conferencing. It is helping in research through electronic databases. It is also helping in the professional development of the teachers. So everywhere technology is coming. So if you want to achieve success in higher education, you will have to embrace technology and become tech savvy. You know, you all know that MOOCs are there. These are uploaded on the SWAYAM portal. And at present, more than 2,000 MOOCs have been developed. So the vision is that once all the MOOCs for all the courses are developed, SWAYAM will be like ATL, anytime learning. Just as we have ATM, anytime money for banks. Then, you know, professional development, ARPIT programs are there. ARPIT is annual refresher program in teaching. So this will be online refresher program. These focus on latest developments in the subject, new and emerging areas. Then these focus on pedagogical innovations and methodologies like that. For example, our Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center is also the National Resource Center of Chemistry. And you know, this video is considered to be one of the best. Let me show if I can show you.
Hello everyone, myself Dr. Vimal Rarh, and I am the coordinator of National Resource Center of Chemistry of MHRD Government of India at SCTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi.
And myself, Professor A.K. Bakshi. We welcome you all to the ARPIT 2019, which is going to provide you a unique opportunity to learn as per your convenience. For this online refresher course, we have selected a variety of interesting and exciting topics.
So that these are useful for all the UG and PG chemistry teachers of our country, irrespective of their specialization.
Let's have a look at the variety of the modules which have been developed with the help of leading experts from all over the country.
To begin with, we will have a special module as Chem News, which will bring the latest news to you from the world of chemistry.
The modules entitled Chem Talks will focus on the latest development as well as new and emerging areas of chemistry.
In the Chem Safe Lab modules, we will focus on various measures to be taken to prevent accidents in our chemistry lab.
In the module on Chem Nobel Laureates, this time we will be focusing on life and contributions of Ernest Rutherford.
Through the modules titled Chem Pedagogy, we will highlight on.
So like that, this is an introductory video, but I'm not showing it completely. Anyway, then, with technology, new pedagogical innovations have come. You all know we normally teach by talk and chalk method. This talk and chalk method has many limitations. It is a teacher-centric approach, mainly a monologue method. Many complex concepts cannot be explained on the board. Then it presumes that all students learn in an identical fashion. That may not be true. You can't solve many problems in the class due to paucity of time. Then it is slow and time consuming. But with technology, new pedagogies have come. And one very important pedagogy is flipped classroom. Look at this flipped learning. In the traditional model, a teacher delivers a lecture in the class and then gives some homework activities. But in the flipped model, a teacher will give a video on a topic to the student to be watched at home. Student watches the video once, twice, 2, 3 times, note down what he or she has understood and what are the queries. And then next day in the class, that video is discussed with the teacher in the presence of other students. So it is believed that this flipped model is a better model of learning. Because in the traditional model, remembering and understanding is done in the class. But for higher order thinking skills, student is left to himself or herself to do the things. But in the flipped model, remembering and understanding is done outside the class through the video which the teacher gives. And then in the class, you try to inculcate higher order thinking skills in discussion with other students and the teacher. So this is considered to be a better model of learning. This is my article in Times of India about flipped classroom. This is in Education Times. So the message is that if we teach today's students as we taught yesterday's, we are going to rob them of tomorrow. So if we want to excel in higher education, we will have to change ourselves. We are approaching a time where we need technology in every classroom and in every student and teacher's hand, because it is going to be the pen and paper of our time. And it is the lens through which we experience much of our world. So that's very important. And now the time has also come when India should have a virtual university. Maybe the SWAYAM portal with more than 2,000 courses can be a starting point for a virtual university. Another challenge which all of you have to keep it in mind, and that is Education 4.0. India is soon going to enter an era of Education 4.0. 4.0 means total technology mediated education. Now, if you look at this, the world is presently going through fourth industrial revolution. The three industrial revolutions are already over. Fourth industrial revolution focuses on, artificial intelligence and many other disruptive technologies. And therefore, education 4 is that education system which is aligned with the needs of industrial revolution 4. That means it will have to change so that it produces graduates who can be absorbed in the jobs required in industrial revolution 4. Skill set like that. So this is my article about education 4.0 in education times of the times of India. These are going to be the technologies of the future now. Artificial intelligence, robotics, virtual reality, Internet of Things. So in future, these technologies are going to come. And one thing more, personalized learning is going to come in a very big way. Classroom teaching is teacher-centric. MOOCs are also like one size fits all. Personalized learning means a learning system according to the learner's strengths, weaknesses, competencies, etc. And here artificial intelligence can help us. The government has already launched a scheme called NEET, National Educational Alliance for Technology. In this scheme, artificial intelligence is used to make learning more personalized and customized as per the requirements of the learners. Myself and Dr. Vimal are part of this scheme of the government of India. And then in future, artificial intelligence is also going to come in a very big way in adaptive assessment, that is machine set questions. Algorithms will replace mentors. Exams may be at your doorsteps. Digital invigilation will replace physical invigilation and digital attendance. All this looks like a magic. And exams may move to your bedroom, but still the invigilator would be watching. An artificial intelligence proctor will keep a watch on you. And image recognition technique will ensure that the right person is appearing in the exam. So that's a big thing. And another thing which you have to keep it in mind is that the roles of the teachers are now going to change in the 21st century. You will have to become tech-savvy teachers in ICT skills. You may have to manage tomorrow virtual classroom and discussion forum. Suppose students are enrolled in MOOCs all over the country, and if they have some questions, who will answer them? You. So you should learn how to manage virtual classroom and discussion forum. And you should also be proficient in the development of e-content and MOOCs, because this e-learning, e-content, MOOCs ultimately are developed by whom? By the teachers. They write the whole material. So this is an additional role. And according to UGC, if you do all this, you get due credit in your promotions. There is often a fear that will technology replace teachers? This is a question. Please remember, technology is only to empower the teachers. Technology will not replace teachers. Yes, the teachers who use technology will probably replace teachers who do not. So it's something like the survival of the fittest. And slowly we are approaching the time when there will be a digital curriculum in every course, compulsory for every student, with a focus on digital skills, competencies, and fluencies in all courses of education. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember, technology in education is a journey and not a destination. Never stop learning. This is my message to all of you. Rather, inspire your students to be lifelong learners by being one. And then, if you have to excel in higher education, appropriate leadership is also required. Role of a leader in a higher educational institution is very important. Without appropriate leadership, the institution is like a ship without a rudder. It will become directionless and ultimately sink with all the passengers. So, good leadership is a must. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Everybody has gifts and talents. Please remember it. A good leader should know how to harness them towards the same goal. Don't forget that before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. But once you are a leader, success is all about growing you, your colleagues, others. And a person who feels appreciated will always do more than what is expected. Do that. We should try to make each other's life less difficult. What do we live for if it is not to make the life less difficult to each other? Why? And government has also launched this scheme. Those who want to become academic leaders, directors, vice chancellors in future, LEAP scheme, Leadership for Academicians program. This is a 3-week program, 2-week domestic and 1-week foreign training. So this is for future leaders. So lastly, now I come to one point, that when such is the scenario, then how do you excel? I come to the point of personality now. You will have to change your personality. We cannot become what we want to be by remaining what we are. We will have to change. So I will give you some of the tips from my own experience. I want all of you to have a proactive personality. Proactive means you focus on preparing. Reactive is if you focus on repairing. Proactive people don't wait for the ship to come in, they swim out to it. Self-belief. If you want to be successful in life, first believe that you can. Always believe in yourself. A bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking because her trust is not in the branch but in her own wings. Whatsoever line you choose, excel in that. A penguin can never be a giraffe, so try to be the best penguin you can be. Self-discipline, another quality. It means mastery over your thoughts. If you can control your thoughts, you can control anything. Thoughts give rise to words, words to actions, habits, character, destiny, etc. If you can learn self-control, you can master anything. Work hard sensibly. Many people are very hardworking, but without any direction. That's sad. If you want to become extraordinary, try to acquire extraordinary qualities. Don't be like one in a crowd. No, that's a very mediocre life. Work with a strong willpower and bulldog determination, and world will be at your feet. A diamond is merely a lump of coal that did well under pressure. See, you have to make efforts. You can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets. No. You may have many resources, but if you do not know how to use them, it is of no use. Growth mindset is very important. It is said there is nothing in this world that can trouble you more than your own thoughts. Nothing. So the heaviest burdens that we carry are the thoughts in our head. So make it light. Look at this small video. This explains so many things. Just watch this.
How heavy is this glass of water? Melissa, would you care to answer?
8 ounces,
12 ounces,
16 ounces.
The absolute weight of the glass doesn't matter. It depends on how long I hold on to it. If I hold it for a minute, nothing happens. If I hold it for an hour, my arm will begin to ache. If I hold it all day long, my arm will feel numb and paralyzed. Well, the weight of the glass hasn't changed, but the longer I hold on to it, the heavier it becomes. The stresses and the worries of life are like this glass of water. If you think about them for a little while, there's no problem. Think about it for a little bit longer, it begins to hurt. You think about them all day long, and you'll feel paralyzed, incapable of doing anything. Always remember, put the glass down.
Because, life is ultimately as good as your mindset. Then, you should also come out of your comfort zone. It is said that the life begins at the end of your comfort zone. You should come out of that. It's only once you have stepped out of your comfort zone that you begin to change, grow, and transform. Then stay positive and honest to yourself. Don't need to tell to the world. Just inner conscience, always positive thinking. Positive thinkers have a solution for every problem. Negative thinkers have a problem for every solution. So stay positive. My advice, introspect regularly from time to time. Nobody knows you better than you yourself. You know your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Maybe once a month, sit down all alone and think and introspect. Be confident and honest to yourself. That's all. Don't need to tell to the world. Learn from failures. Overcome the fear of failure. It said, जब तक तुम डरते रहोगे तुम्हारी जिंदगी के फैसले कोई और लेता रहेगा. So overcome that. Failure doesn't mean the game is over. It means try again with experience. So now a new concept has come, embrace your failure. Many successful people keep a failure resume on their web page. They highlight the jobs they could not get or the awards they could not win, etc. They keep on reading and don't make the mistake again. Failures can be the pillars of success. It depends upon how you take failures. You should take failure as the stepping stone to success. It's a very famous quote, your attitude towards failure determines your altitude after failure. And then worries also you overcome. Worry is a misuse of imagination. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. So don't control yourself. Why worry? If you have done your very best, you can. Worrying won't make it any better. So why worry? Learn to say no also. Many people don't say no and then create problem for themselves. Learn the art of saying no. Don't lie. Don't make excuses. Don't over-explain, but simply decline. You can be a good person with a kind heart and still say no. But don't have double standards. Be the same person privately, publicly, and personally. No to anger. Anger is normal, but how you deal with anger is important. When you are angry, count up to 10 before you speak. But if you are very angry, count up to 100. Things will change. Never say mean words out of anger. Your anger will pass, but your mean words can scare a person for life. So use kind words or be silent. Arrogance. Sometimes, a small success goes into person's head. That should not happen. You should not take anything and become arrogant. Look at this quote. कभी किसी चीज का घमंड आ जाए तो शमशान का एक चक्कर लगा आना, तुमसे बेहतरीन लोग वहां राख बने पड़े. Just say. Remember that you are dust and to dust you shall return. Dream big. Dream is not you see in sleep. Dream is something that doesn't let you sleep. And a dream is the creative vision for your life in the future. Sight is what you see with your eyes. Vision is what you see with your mind. The eyes are useless when the mind is blind. And the most pathetic person in the world is someone who has sight but no vision. So have a vision, and it should be creative vision, and it should not let you sleep. And the last is time management. Everybody gets 24 hours a day. The secret to success is how you manage your time. Please remember, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Time management is life management. And time changes for everybody. And look at this, how the time has changed for these people.
समय की धारा में, समय की धारा में, उम्र बह जानी है, जो घड़ी जी लेंगे, वो जो घड़ी जी लेंगे, वही रह जानी है.
So you can very well see how time has changed these people. So that people say, make hay while the sun shines, live in the moment. खूबसूरत चेहरा भी बूढ़ा हो जाता है, पद भी एक दिन खत्म हो जाता है, जिस्म भी एक दिन ढल जाता है, लेकिन एक दिल का अच्छा इंसान हमेशा अच्छा इंसान ही रहता है. Be a good person, but don't waste time to prove it. So what I mean to say is that at the end of the day, your biggest competition is you only. You have to win over yourself. You should become a master of your mind and not the puppet of your mind. Somebody very rightly said, you don't have the problem, you are the problem. स्वर्ग भी तू है, नर्क भी तू है, इन दोनों का फर्क भी तू है. So it's not something to come from outside. One day you will wake up and there won't be any more time to do the things you have always wanted. Do it now. So these are our report about MOOCs in Times of India, about chemistry program. Then this is my article about SWIME in Times of India. This is editorial in the world of e-learning about our work about end of talk and chalk regime. Then this is about UGC MOOCs with a focus on our work. This is another of my article about focusing on innovating our teaching approach, then using ICT creatively in higher education. This is about our chemistry article. This is myself and Vimal's article about quality education in India, ICT.
सुनो गजर क्या गाए, समय गुजरता जाए, और दिन वाले भोर भोले भाले सोना ना, होना ना. सुनो गजर क्या गाए,
जीवन कहीं भी ठहरता नहीं है, जीवन कहीं भी ठहरता नहीं है, आंधी से तूफान से डरता नहीं है, तू न चलेगा तो चलते भी राहें, तू न चलेगा तो चलते भी राहें, मंजिल को तरसेंगी तेरी निगाहें, तुझको चलना होगा.
You know, look at this. It's never too late to be what you might have been. बंदी हैं हाथ पर सबके घड़ियां, मगर पकड़ में किसी के एक लम्हा भी नहीं. जिंदगी छोटी नहीं होती है, लोग जीना ही देरी से शुरू करते हैं. जब तक रास्ते समझ में आते हैं तब तक लौटने का वक्त हो जाता है. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you. So I have given you my views on how you can excel, what are the challenges, how you should change your personality. So I think if you embrace all these things, you are bound to be very successful. Please remember, realization comes to everybody in one's life, but generally by the time realization comes, it's too late. That should not happen with you. Your feedback is welcome. My email ID is there. My cell number is there. Please remain in touch, and all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for excellent presentation and motivating words. Really, we all teachers are motivated by your words. Sir has thrown light on various aspects of higher education and how we can excel in higher education in the light of NEP 2020. Now, I request our guest of eminence, Dr. Vimal Rah Madam, Project Head and Joint Director of GAD-TLC and Coordinator of National Resource Center of Chemistry of MHRD, to talk in this webinar. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you so much, Mr. Deepak, and thanks again. My regards to Professor Bakshi, Dr. Purswani. And sir always leaves me in a challenge. He takes the prime time, and then I have a challenge that, okay, my participants are, my colleagues are there with me or not. So please put a smiley in the chat section on the YouTube. I am watching on that, and let's get started. So although it is like quite late, 5:30 in the evening, but yes, we are all here to co-learn, and this is the new phase of us as teachers, the tech-savvy teachers of our country, India. So let's get started, because sir has set the pace. There are challenges in curriculum, teaching, learning, assessment, and then how National Education Policy 2020 is focusing on all them, and then how it is very progressively looking about the various possible solutions. And I will be focusing on the technology part, because that's where I have worked at the ground level, I will say. And so the title of my talk today is NEP 2020 and Technology in Higher Education. And I will start with this point of NEP 2020, that the policy notes that one of the central principles steering the education system will be the extensive use of technology in teaching learning, removing language barriers, increasing access, as well as educational planning and management. And it encapsulates entire thing. But then how at very level, minute level, what all we have to do, I will be actually focusing on some of our experience as the team we have worked, and some changes which have happened in the last decade and more prominently in the last few years, and we have been part of contributing that at the national level. And one of that is that MOOCs is not post NEP 2020. It is there in higher education, and formal integration of MOOCs, which is massive open online courses, in Indian higher education system has been done in July 2016. And here a student could earn up to 20% of credits through online courses as MOOCs on SWAYAM platform. But then this has actually not seen the ground reality where all the students could go into. It has been very promising scheme, and many courses are available. As I told, we have 2000 courses, but much more has to be done. I will say it is just the tip of the iceberg, because for every subject, every level, we should be having the MOOCs alternative, where the students, it's not about replacing the conventional system. As sir rightly told, the teachers are not to fear with technology, but rather you have to embrace. And MOOCs or the structured e-content are the tools which will be empowering you for your classroom teaching as supplementary learning, as well as wherever you have the optional or electives. If you talk about choice-based credit system, that is again a very aspiring scheme, but actually if you look from the students point of view, that is not in practice, because in our conventional system we are really not able to give every student the choices actually they are really looking for. So there are constraints, and that constraint will be overcome with the help of MOOCs. And this technology integration has been already done in NEP 2020, takes to take these things in a very extensive manner further. Now the fully online program courses are also a reality. I was a member of this regulation which we have formulated in 2018, where any higher education university meeting the various quality parameter as laid down in the regulation, they can offer fully online degree programs like BA, BCom, MA, MCom, MBA, and so on. And this is again, it is to cater to those. It is not again about replacing the conventional courses. It is to cater to those lifelong learners. Some of our students, because of economic reasons, they have to take the jobs immediately after UG, or at the school education level, after that doing some vocational training. Then do they have to be deprived about the formal education? No, it has to be a continuous journey. And then in lifelong learning spirit, we have open and distance education system, but then this will be providing a quality option, so that the lifelong learning can be taken, and the students can benefit. And integrating it with the conventional face to face, the solution is blended learning. So whether it is purely online learning as e-learning, or it is blended learning, now we need to have tech savvy teachers where you can design modern curriculum, as rightly mentioned by Professor Bakshi, that there are challenges, and in NEP 2020, the focus is now to reduce the syllabi, but yet keeping it modern. So it is like you have the challenges, because reducing what all to be reduced, some basic foundation has to be there. And here comes the technology in your way, because some of these can be put up in good quality video where the students can do self-learning rather than evaluative, or so newer models have to come. And here I will also like to mention that in curriculum designing, we also have to keep in mind the industry and the job requirements point of view. So all that has to be taken into care. And many times while formulating these curriculum, as very respect to all the senior colleagues and teachers, while designing, there is always a debate going on that is there any study material available on what we are going to propose? So always, if you have good quality e-content, then obviously embedding them into curriculum will also become very, very easier, because even if there are not experts in the newer areas coming, then the teachers also can learn along with the students through the initial batches, and that is what will be possible through the technology when you have good quality content and the teachers know how to use these in a proper blend where you have the technology and the face-to-face delivery. And talking about the newer pedagogies, as Professor Bakshi mentioned, that you have flipped classroom and other things coming, we have to now seriously work around implementing that, and that's where the success of NEP 2020 will lie. And NEP 2020 also focuses on increasing the internal or the formative assessments. But are they going to be done at the cost where we will be putting more efforts? We always say that we don't have time because we is already the overburdening syllabi. So it's a vicious cycle, and you have to look in all of these. And technology, let me tell you, will be really empowering you. And knowing the technology, then we can collectively find better solution and really take the NEP 2020 in the better spirit for implementation. And that's where I will say that we have to be aware that as tech savvy teachers, the new roles of teachers are all the similar roles that we had, but now they are all going to be empowering us with the technology. And we have to empower us with these technologies so that we can be more efficient and effective in the system, whether it is the dissemination of knowledge, or it is the creation of digital resources, or doing the research, or continuing our professional development. Because as now the growth of knowledge is much more than our earlier generation of teachers had. So that's a new challenge actually. The even the upcoming teachers will be having more and more, and that is what we have to actually prepare ourselves into. So this slide I will like you to focus. This is myself and Professor Bakshi's joint idea, where we are telling that how the Bloom's taxonomy and the flipped classroom can be integrated in a very effective manner, where the traditional mode of face to face is more teacher centric. On the other hand, the blended mode using the flipped classroom methodology, and by integrating the revised Bloom's taxonomy for making the meaningful questions and all, will be learner centric. From rote learners, we will be able to produce the active learners. And with the help of technology, where in traditional model we are having only one teacher, but here it is one teacher along with many other teachers in the form of digital content with him or her. And these teachers can be at the national level, regional level, or at the global level, or from industry. So it is like you have to just search around the good quality videos and integrate in your classroom methodology, and that is going to empower you in delivering the flipped classroom methodology. And in if you look at this Bloom's taxonomy, remember, understand, apply are most commonly being done in current face-to-face mode, but analyze, evaluate, and create are missing to a great extent. And usually what we do is we prepare notes, we make the concept in the class, write on the board, and students learn. And outside the class, we tell them that you do homework and you come prepared with these solutions and all. So we have to reverse this, and that is what is the flipped classroom methodology, that outside class the student will come prepared with the good quality e-content, and in class now we have to emphasize on the holistic development of the learner. And that can be done with the classroom activities, in discussion with us, the students. You can form the groups, they can focus, And then the idea should be to take them to problem solving, critical thinking, innovation, and creativity. So we have to actually now come up with the new ideas in every subject at how this particular topic can be taught in the flipped classroom methodology, what all problems we have to discuss. And these are the new challenges, and I request all of you to work in groups and come out with some creative ideas. But all that will be possible once you have the knowledge how technology can actually help you and put these ideas into place through the technology. And rather than doing the routine same things again and again, these digital content will be helping you to automate and reduce your time as well. So I will be focusing on that aspect also. And let me start with the basic ICT skills. In the basic ICT skills, whether it is Word doc or PowerPoint presentation or the use of Excel, I will say many of us, we say we know, but frankly speaking, let me share it with you. Most of us actually don't, and it is no fault of ours. We have never been trained because we never felt there is a need. And now it is the time I will request humbly to all of you that please, wherever you get chance, learn the details of making professional PowerPoint presentation, which is the best tool in your hand, and you can make remarkable difference in your classroom delivery, whether you are doing in a face-to-face mode or you are doing in the online mode like I am delivering. And this should be the PowerPoint should be using the points. It's not that everything you write and then everything you speak. Student will say, "Sir, madam, we don't need you. You please give your PPT." That is efficient because you are not going to tell anything more than that. So that should not be the idea. So the way you use technology is going to decide whether we are going to replace ourselves or we are going to empower ourselves. So I will say that we have to empower ourselves with these tools and not just take them that okay, the same notes and the same notes are going. So how these will be helping us reduce the time in the delivery, make it more quality efficient. So all these things we have to actually look. We have to also learn various other tools like document management systems, video conferencing tool. Here also there are so many opinion polls, and although I am not the host of this planning, but when we do our workshops and my online classes, then I plan in between some opinion polls. Right now you are watching on YouTube, but if you are also on Zoom, then if we can be more interactive, and it can be like even right now, please if you have any queries you can write on the chat box, and although I am not the host of this planning, but so I just opened the other machine where I will be now able to see your chats. And talking about live teaching, I think chalk and board, we have been wasting our efforts, and all goes in the dustbin. We should be able to preserve them, and that's where the PowerPoint will be very, very useful. And we can have not only the black and white era come out of that, please. Our students are already in the colorful world with the gaming things and all in their hand. So can we use the colorful visuals, whether a very complex diagram? Don't waste the time on drawing, use them and then go straight away to the explanation, and that can be shared with your students as well, whether they are for bio or the physics or the geography maps or the chemistry 3D molecules or the bio diagrams as complex as like brain. Like look at now, compare with what you can draw on the board and what technology can actually provide you. So it's a new dimension of interactive world, and as teachers we have to learn these, and that's how we will be able to make the classroom much more interactive and meaningful. And if you still feel that yes, the way I write is what makes the difference, and it cannot be replaced. Then also you have to learn the screen capture tools. You can write the way you write on board and preserve it. It is not that the duster will rub them and any student asks again that, okay, now ma'am, tell again. And you look at the board, okay, my God, I have rubbed it and I'll have to write again. So please use these tools and keep on updating your content, and then work on making it much, much more discussion, problem solving approach. So take the teaching learning beyond what is present, where simply the rote learning gives our students 90% and above, but frankly speaking, they are actually not able to analyze and apply that particular knowledge. So right from, rather than sharing information which is there with them as well as with us, let us co-learn, let us use that information and take that further. But then that information should be available in good quality format, and that's where your role as teachers come for development of open educational resources and the digital content. And content, I will say again very briefly, I go into various other webinars into detailed depth upon the entire methodology. But very quickly here, I will say it is just not the visual appeal or the subject specific thing, but it has to be judicious combination of both. Because if you are having visually very rich, but concept wise it is factually incorrect, then it will have amplifying effect. So if it is good, it will make it better, and if it is bad, it will make it worse. That we have to keep in mind while we are making this e-content. These are not the TikTok videos, dear. They are highly serious kind of educational content which will be having shelf life many years even after we die. So we have to look up for the content and prepare them so that they are useful for forever, and that can be done with a judicious blend of using the technology along with the subject specific requirement, and that too as the per the level of the learner. And while designing content, I'll say you all try to become creative. See where you can have some videos which are outfield videos, or you have some interviews embedded, or some application. So all those limitations which we have in books, all those limitations which we have, we cannot draw on board. Please bring all those flavors inside. Let the physical four boundaries of our classroom not be constrained. Now the entire world is in your machine, is in your mobile phone. So you have to actually integrate them with proper. And there's a question coming in between, how to develop drawing skills among student. Dr. Rao, you can make some projects where you try to have different in your own subject, make them go into project work where you write from document writing, you go to presentation skills, drawing skills, and whether it is through charts or so. You have to be innovative. You come out with various, and I think you can work even in groups. Why a chemistry student has to only work for project from a chemistry teacher? Why not a chemistry student, a computer science student, a data science student, they make some product, and they also learn about that how the product has to be taken to the delivery, marketing, and the GST and all. So it has to be the applied field. I think the entrepreneurship model can be integrated in every. So I will request my colleagues to be creative, look for at least one project for your entire class in the entire semester, make them work in groups, and there is no fail in that. Even if the students fail, encourage them, because failure will make them much more confident and comfortable. So that's how the new flavors we have to. And then while designing proper e-content, if you have to earn API and make it proper completion, which can be offered for online courses or as MOOCs, then you have to structure it around 20 hours for 4 credit paper, make it into the 4 quadrant format, and that also details we often talk in various other webinars. Let me share. Myself and Professor Bakshi we have designed this 4 quadrant model for the EPG Pathshala project, and very similar is the MOOCs model. And these are now the standards in terms of quality and quantity, which you have to keep in mind while making any content. And this teacher secret is my own concept, and I welcome all of you very soon, and very regularly we keep on conducting the FDPs and around teacher secret and various workshops. So join our Telegram group, and then you can keep on getting notification that how you can also contribute in these teachers e-kit. And here teacher secret, actually we talk about for every one small topic that how Bloom's taxonomy and flipped classroom model can be used and applied, and can be given to other teachers. And while designing videos, now video preparation is a new norm. I will say it is not will be, and the future is here. And we all, by using our smartphones, by using our these laptops, gadgets, screen capture, we have to know the various techniques, tools, and we should be able to make these videos. But then please watch your videos in your mobile phone, because most of the students are watching here. And when you're watching, just look at the text size. The text size should not be very small, because otherwise it is not the Hollywood or Bollywood type of video which are actually less challenging than creating educational content. And on the contrary, if you look at the commercial point of view, there is huge commercial impact in terms of the investment as well as the output. But here it is challenge on both the side, and you have to make it very, very visually appealing, less text, and that's where the creativity has to be viewed. You can take animations like the intro video we have shown, Professor Bakshi has shown to you. So it is more of the visual effect, the impact. So what sound can do, what audio can do, what your text can do. So all that thinking has, so that the learner centric approach is there, that the learner is able to benefit and understand that concept, which even textbooks or you in your classroom cannot do the justice. So we have to take the educational content to that level. Then and only then it will be much, much more meaningful and empowering us as well as our students. And here also you should be using maximum of technology, and you should get the know-how. Many times questions are asked that whether it should be small or long video. I think the answer is very straight. You decide your duration, but it should be very, very exciting for the learner, because even if it is a 2-3 second channel in the TV, if you are not able to find interest, we just go to the next one. So it is not your face-to-face classroom where you are not closing the door, or you have the 75% attendance compulsory, that physically the student is there, but he or she actually may not be present to understand. So here even that constraint is not there. So that video should be really very, very exciting, and only the students will be able to use that content. And while creating this, we have to be now learning the skills like I'll say the actors are having. And please, dear colleagues, no actors can challenge us in this field. They can make maybe 1 or 2 statements they can use, but they cannot do the detailed, serious educational content production. And that's why the challenge. And they can just at the most prepare 1, 2 or 3 hours video as a movie talking about broadly, but not going into deeply. And at PG level, we have that challenge. And so as teachers, it can be only done with teachers who now learn these nuances of voice modulation, being a performer in front of camera, and we have to get that confidence. And you all can practice with the help of your smartphone. So that's very, very handy to you, and it will help you also in your classroom delivery as well as in your online delivery. It will give you comfort. Although no one is in front of me right now, my laptop. And yes, I know with the chats I know Sumit, Shekhar, Seema, Kashalya, Manjeet, Shankarrao, Patil, Sanjay, so many of you are there with me. But then how you interact, how you take the combination of these tools, that is what you have to. And in your classroom, rather than one-to-one, make it more interactive with your students. But for video preparation, you should learn and know the techniques. Okay, although I am sitting in a green studio, but later on it can be converted into as fancy as this. With even this table is artificial. So, but then you should know, plan it. Okay, I'll be putting a table, so I'll be sitting and then recording, or some shots I'll be taking standing, and then you have to be confident. Although you are many points you refer to, but then it should not look that you are reading. It should be more interesting. So these are the now tips which will be there for the all my colleagues, because creating our own content will be a new normal. And but while creating this content, you have to be very cautious about the plagiarism issues as well. So whether it is any text you are publishing or it is the script you are using for video recording, you should be using the uh, plagiarism checking tools, and same you can use for your assignment of the students. Open educational resources, how properly they have to be used, citation has to be done, the fair use guidelines, the Creative Commons license, and all these are the new norms. The storyboard for animations, rather than sticking with the technical team, your ideas can be put up beautifully in form of various animations, which makes the concept very simple. And all these changes are going to strengthen the National Education Policy 2020, and especially focusing on the assessment part. Assessments 80% can be automated. It can be given to technology. You can check thousands of times your learners ability on different topics without actually you it just, but what is required, proper tagged questions. There's a question bank, and you can create as many number of pages for your learners, and that too in no time you can. But then preparation of questions bank should be done, so that we are taking the learners hierarchy to from remembering, understanding till evaluating and creating. And that is where even the AI tools are now coming. There are various research happening in that how the different subject testing can be made more meaningful, and the AI can do the analysis for you. So we, but how do we actually come out with these models unless or until the teachers are knowing about technology, knowing about these tools? The input will not be there. So the AI is there. AI is not just a 4 5 minutes old thing. It is already there, but then why it is not a reality in education system, although it is a reality in so many other application, is because the teachers have to first understand and then provide the models and take it further. So we can work as teams with computer science teachers or the teams who are developing AI tools, so that we need, okay, for chemistry point of testing, this is the thing I need. For commerce, this is for maths, and so on. So many groups are already working, but then much more has to be done in this. And you can create different type of questions, whether they are interactive crosswords where the student can write and then check as many number of times, or it is the proctored examination. This is also now coming as a new norm. We should be aware about the various tools and how the proctored examination can be taken. Like for ARPIT examination, the National Testing Agency is given the mandate, and the participants, they have to go, and there are so many things like retina scan, the fingerprint scan, and the screen capture of everything happening. And there is a remote proctor who is sitting and monitoring whether you are talking to someone is helping, and so on. So all these things are a reality now. Technology can really monitor. There is no need of physical proctoring. Right, sitting in your home, you can proctor your student and tell that whether they are cheating or not. And all the learning management system, I'll request is the immediate need for all of you to learn, whether you have the Moodle or Genomio or Open edX or Blackboard, My Class Academy, or Swam itself is a LMS. But in Swam, you cannot create your own courses. It has to be given by some of the national coordinators, and then you offer. So all these learning management system, how to add content, the course structuring, the teacher student group formation, the assignments online, offline, discussion forums, tracking. It is not simply dumping, but also analyzing and giving you input on improving the system. So these are a reality, and LMS, not only one will be required, every institution will have necessarily have LMS in the coming years, and you as individual teachers will be catering to your students through that. But then over and above, you should also work in groups at the national or the state level to create, because not every teacher has to create the same resources again and again. So that's where the concept of OER, and you can contribute whether on SWAM or on other like Teacher It, you can come and contribute and get certification, and other teachers can use. Or if you think that this is the content that okay, I'm going to get royalty on, like my book publishing, then this is the new norm which is going. So you have your videos, you have your quizzes, you have your learners, and that's where the new thing, and all these things will be you will have to learn when you have to go into taking this. See, now it is very clear, the LMS will provide you a long elongated blackboard which is like never rubbed. Only you can rub, you can delete, yes, but you keep on adding, and it is available everywhere wherever you have your smartphone or your, and it is not confined in those 4 classroom. And you can do the content uploading, assessment, quizzes, various types of analysis, advanced question. Look at this, like the drag and drop with the diagram. So the rote learning can be actually minimized with these type of creative questions. But who will create these type of questions? Unless or until, dear my colleagues, you become tech savvy, you cannot think about these ideas. And now there are e-learning publishing also happening in this direction. uh, in February we are conducting a e-learning event, which is international event, where how in your own topic you can use these tools and make your class much more interesting and meaningful. Those case studies also get published as research papers. And as institution, the various automation tools, which I'm sure administrators take that burden, but as teachers, I think much more has to be done. And we have to be also aware about subject specific softwares, and also keep on doing continuous professional development. So the bottom line is we have to be tech savvy. There is no escape, and we are here to help you. And during and post COVID, I will say higher education is seeing major transformation. There are challenges towards curriculum, teaching, learning, and assessment, but I'm sure we will be able to turn these challenges into opportunities. Right now, we are debating about whether or not we should have online. Come on, let's start implementing. I see many webinars where they still say, do we need, it's like you are asking, do we need mobile phones right now? So please, this is now here, and here I will, Corona had been very unfortunate situation for all of us as a human race, but then it is a silver lining in the dark cloud for education system and for our country India. It is a blessing in disguise, because the nooks and corners of our country we can reach through technology, because where good teachers cannot reach, let us all work together. You may be good in one particular topic, I may not be so good in that particular topic. So we have to collect these resources and provide us to our students. It's not that we have to keep on. And one more request I will do here is, please, by the end of our career, 20, 30, 40 years. We keep on working for 1 hour, we prepare for 8 hours, and we become more knowledgeable when we retire, but that is not being passed to our students and education system. So please, you become facilitator. Let your students work in group, let them collect the information, let them come out with, okay, what questions you have in mind, let them go do discussion. You be a facilitator, you guide them, you mentor them, and that is what we have to. You tell them how they can analyze, let them even try. Maybe even we are not able to give them solution, because they have to come out with a solution which the problem even we don't know, because these are our future generation kids who will be going into jobs which even we don't know. And the future is virtual and augmented reality in education. How do we give inputs to these if we are not aware, and how do we use them if we are not tech savvy? That will be a sad affair. And yes, AI driven personalized learning, the theory is there, but let us make it as a reality, and that will be done with collective efforts of each and every teacher of our country, and each and every classroom has to change, has to, then and only then the change will happen. So I invite all of you to please be with us. We have taken this mission apart from our other responsibilities, teaching responsibilities. I'm thankful to Professor Bakshi also. Although he's a vice chancellor and so much occupied time, but he's always there with this mission that we have taken, and we have other groups. And I invite all of you also, those who want to become part of our team, to contribute. So let us start making a change. And with the online, I'm happy to share that in last 4 years we had touched only 10,000 teachers, but within last 6 months we have touched more than 25,000 teachers. So the impact of technology is now multiplier, and we can really use this in a very, very positive manner. So I invite all of you to collaborate with us in various webinar, workshops, or FDP programs, and you can write down your this email ID, take a screenshot of this, or my team is also there. Himanshi is writing some chats in the YouTube, so they will be Telegram link. Himanshi, share the Telegram link also. So this is the Telegram link. You can join in any events, you get the information. And so I will say, continuous capacity building of teachers along with quality content and MOOCs can really make a better and stronger India in the field of education. So dear colleagues, let's come together and make this a reality. And that reality will happen only when we embrace this technology and convert these challenges into opportunities. They're really going to be opportunities for us. And thank you everyone. I'm here for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. Really, it is the need of the hour that every teacher has to become tech savvy. During this pandemic situation, we have learned that how technology can help us in teaching learning process. And we teachers should embrace with the new changes in the education system. I would like to mention here that Dr. Vimal madam is managing 3 e-learning centers and given tremendous contribution in the development of MOOCs program. So looking her contribution in development of e-content, MOOCs programs, she has been awarded with prestigious awards by different governments. Like I would like to mention here some awards which she has received. She has received the award Minister of Education, Bahrain, Delhi Ratan Award, and recently Madam has been awarded with INSA Teachers Award 2020. I would like to take opportunity to congratulate you, Madam, on behalf of our SST College of Arts and Commerce and all the participants in this webinar for your achievements and for your awards. And I would like to mention here all the participants that we are going to organize such events, such different webinars on such topics So please be in touch with us. We will inform you about this in our Telegram group, and it will be updated on the website of our SST College of Arts and Commerce. Our college website is sstcollege.edu.in. Then about feedback form, dear participants, the feedback form is already sent in your registered email ID, as well as it is posted in the Telegram group. So I would like to take opportunity to thank you, our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. A.K. Bakshi sir, for giving his valuable time and enlightening all the participants with his immense knowledge. And I would like to thank Dr. Vimal madam for throwing light on the various technological aspect which a teacher should learn. We are thankful to all the participants who made this webinar successful. We are thankful to our technical team for their tremendous support for the success of this program, and directly or indirectly who helped us for the success of this program. We are thankful to all of them. Dear participants, please be in touch with us. Please watch regularly our Telegram messages, so you will be updated with another such kind of webinars which we are going to achieve in coming future. So thank you everybody for your patient listening. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, SST College. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir,